Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chris on IMTM Worldwide Radio, and I have a few announcements, updates, and previews to talk about for the next few minutes or so. So if you notice, I opened up this episode, actually it's not an episode, it's a preview, with the intro of my Women in Business show. Now, the one thing that's not in there is the new logo, which you see there in the corner there, and I'll post it real quick. There it is. Shout out to Matthew Manuele in regards to that. I've been waiting a long time to get the new logo created before I start pushing the show again. So for those who don't know, and again, thanks for those who are subscribed to IMTM Worldwide Radio on YouTube. If you're not, do it now. But if you don't know what Women in Business is all about, it's a show based on women who started their own businesses from scratch, or they've taken a skill or ability that they have and they've been able to make it to where they're able to earn money from that skill and or ability. Like my former, what's the name? Intern from years ago, who when I first met her, she showed me her drawings in regards to the clothes that she wants to design one day. And guess what she's doing now? She is a fashion designer. She actually has a show coming up in a couple of months in Texas. But there's a whole bunch of people that I know. There's people who I didn't know who I've been able to have come on to the show and talk about themselves. So if you get a chance, go to IMTM Worldwide Radio on YouTube and click on Women in Business. And you'll see a whole list of women from the design field, publishing, doctors, lawyers, musicians, athletes. I have all coaches. I had all kind of women on the show over the last few years, and now I'm going to reboot the series because I haven't been on for a while for Women in Business, but I'm about to come back, which is why you see the logo, and here it is again. I'm very happy about it. So that's preview update number one. Women in Business show is returning very soon. Can't give you a date just yet, but it's coming. Had to tell you that. So let's get back to sports, obviously. So the other thing is around the ATL. Side notes, the next episode should be coming sometime today. I don't know exactly what time, but that's why you should subscribe, hit the notification button. But the next episode is going to be about the Atlanta Hawks. I'm doing a review of the 2023 season. Last week I did game 77, which was the Dallas Mavericks. Today I'll be doing game 76, which was against the Detroit Pistons, which was a victory. However, a player that averaged 8 points a game dropped 50 on the Hawks at home and almost beat the Hawks single-handedly at home by himself somehow. 50 points. So I'm going to be doing that review for you, video of the whole game, shot for shot for the Detroit Pistons, so we can see how Malachi Flynn scored 50 points. So stay tuned for that. Another update, I will be doing hopefully 3 more games this week. I'll be doing the Chicago Bulls game. I might be able to get into the Celtics game. We'll see how things work out the rest of this week, but stay tuned for that. Also, I will be doing a full 2-hour show of Around the ATL, which will cover all Atlanta and Georgia sports as usual. That show, if you don't know about that, is where we go over what's happening with the Hawks, what's happening with the Falcons, what's happening with the Braves, Atlanta United, Atlanta Dream, seasonal sports like volleyball. We have a new volleyball team that's professional, the Atlanta Vibe, who actually had the MVP of the volleyball league on the Atlanta Vibe. And hopefully we'll be able to get her as an interview. That's one person I've been wanting to work on scheduling. We also talk college sports, UGA, Georgia Tech every blue moon, Georgia State, Clark, Albany State, all the colleges that are in the state of Georgia, SEC, ACC, HBCU, we talk about them. A few years ago, we actually started including high school sports to an extent, mostly football only though, and we'll see if we can get that reignited as well. So that's another update as far as the very near future. Today, we will have a show probably within the next couple of hours or so. So just stay tuned. I'll post it up on all the different pages or whatnot. There's one more thing I do want to mention. And again, please, if you get to see this, you're at work or whatnot, you can't watch it now, subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube page and watch it later. And then share it with at least one other person who enjoys Atlanta and Georgia sports. Just share it with one person. That's all I'm asking. Especially if you like my content, okay? But if you like sports and you like to have conversations, legit conversations about sports, definitely share it with someone. But one more thing before I get out of here. What's that? Okay. In lieu of having discussions with people, I like to have discussions with people, but I'm not going to have arguments with people. I am not going to have shows and episodes where I'm yelling and screaming, and I'm not going to say whatever just for the sake of saying it, just for the sake of someone clicking on something. I'm not going to have an outlandish statement that is obviously not true just because it's cool to do that nowadays, which is why a couple of months ago I did a show called Journalistic Integrity. That matters to me, okay? Unfortunately, it doesn't matter to a lot of people now, especially fans. They don't care what people say. They just gravitate towards whatever seems cool to them without any proof, without any evidence or anything like that. One of the things I've been recently saying a lot is not what you know, it's what you can prove. And if somebody gives you direct evidence of a particular fact, whether it be on paper, whether it be on video, audio, whatever, and then you still deny that fact and you still say the untruth, that's a problem. And that, I am not going to fall into that. I'm not going to have discussions with those who prefer to just keep spouting the lie, the untruth, the fiction, okay? I'm not going to do that. And what's worse, I don't want to have discussions with those who can't actually give me a legitimate argument to prove whatever their point is, whatever that might be. Give me something to work with so we can have a discussion. If I say this and I show you this, you give me that so I can look at that and then we can try to see if we can meet in the middle. But if you're not even willing to look at the information at all and you're just still saying the same stuff over and over again, that's just bad. Like, for instance, you can't with a straight face say, my crowd was bigger than the funeral for Martin Luther King Jr. You can't say that with a straight face. You see what I'm saying? Just giving one example of many, right? Michael Vick didn't win a Super Bowl for the Atlanta Falcons. He didn't lead the league in touchdowns. He didn't win the MVP for the Falcons, right? You can't just say things like that and make people think that they're true. Although, what's the phrase? You say something that's false enough, people will start believing it, which is the problem. With not having journalistic integrity, you're willing to just lie and say bad things for popularity's sake, for the drama's sake. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so that's one reason I do not go into discussions with those who insist on just arguing. There is no point. They just want to argue. That's how they say it. Argue, right? I'm not going to do that. So I wanted to say that because, again, in the past, I've seen some things out there in the stratosphere of the internet, and I'm answering that particular point right there. Because the thing of it is that, and this is the one good thing about telling it like it is that when you have someone who has a disagreement or a viewpoint that's opposite of yours, if you continue to show why you feel a certain way and you continue to do it by proving it, by here's the evidence, here's the physical dadgum evidence, eventually a few will say, oh, you know what? Actually, you're right, Chris. Actually, I agree. You know what? We're probably closer to the same page than I thought now that you show it like this. And that's why I'm going to continue to do it the way I do it. And there's a few people who will appreciate that. And that's who I cater to. I cater to the few people who are even keel and willing to always look at both sides of it, but prefer the actual facts of the matter rather than the falsehoods. I don't play the falsehoods game. I can't make up what's on NBA.com or MLB.com or NFL.com. It's there. The video is there. Video is forever. Can't change it. Can't manipulate what actually happened in the game in 1986. You can't change it. You want to, but you can't. You see what I'm saying? That person hit that home run. That person stole that base. That person caught the ball. That person intercepted the ball. You see what I'm saying? That person hit the jump shot. That person blocked the shot. You see how that works? Those things you can't change. Here's their career statistics for everything that they've done. And it all matters because only a few have ever gotten to play professional basketball. So you can't pick and choose when statistics matter and they don't matter. You can't pick and choose. It either matters for everybody or it doesn't matter for nobody. And if statistics don't matter, there is no game. I'm gonna keep saying that. Remember, without a score to reach, you just got people running up and down the court. That's not fun. Anybody can do that. That's not special. You see what I'm saying? Same thing for the NFL. 17 games of just guys running up and down the court field hitting each other. Literally, take the statistics out. There are no catches. Why are you throwing the ball? There's no such thing as a catch. That doesn't represent anything. Rushing yards? What are you doing? What's that for? Field goals? Who cares? Young Wei Koo, you don't have a job. Whatever that kicking thing is, it doesn't count. You're just kicking for exercise. You're just getting some stretches in. It all matters. It always matters. So that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you get to watch the show later on this afternoon. Again, I'm probably gonna try around 2:00. It's just gonna depend. But I am gonna try to do a show today. And the Women in Business show, I'm gonna start reposting some older shows as I get ready to invite the new list for this year, because I haven't done a show all. Have I done a show? I don't think I've done a show all 2024, so that's crazy. But I'm gonna try to start doing that soon, so look out for that. And again, if you can, subscribe. If you're watching this, you know somebody who enjoys more positive talk on subjects, definitely tune in. I appreciate the support. YouTube, IMTM Worldwide Radio on YouTube. Also, though, if you are on Facebook or Instagram, you can follow on IMTM Worldwide Radio on Facebook or Instagram. I am also on Twitter. Intellect ATL is me, as far as that goes. And my co-host for Around the ATL is Jordan23 ATL. Right there, you see that. Jordan Jackson's my co-host. But definitely subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio page. I really would appreciate the support because I am going to be trying to make a push over the next couple of weeks to add a whole bunch of shows. I'm going to try to catch up. I've been down for the last couple of weeks. I'm going to try to catch up. So that being said, that's the updates for now. And just one more time, got to throw it out there. Where is it at? Happy about the new logo. There it is. Women in Business is back. Very excited about that. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to leave out on the Women in Business show intro again. And y'all have a good afternoon. Be looking out for Around the ATL later this afternoon, though. Peace. And of course, I pressed the wrong button. Here we go.